Hello, welcome. Namaste, Namaskaram, Vanakkam. Welcome to the session on truth behind communication skills. Truth behind communication skills. If you are a newcomer, Swagatam, Suswagatam. Thank you for joining. So, this session is about truth behind communication skills. So, communication skills is being considered as one of the major problems nowadays. We don't know the truth actually, whether it is a major problem or not. But it is being considered as one of the major problems. So we will discuss in this session whether it is a major problem or it is being projected as a major problem. They are all market strategies. Whether it is being projected as a major problem or is it really a major problem. Now, if it is a problem, definitely it may or may not be a major problem, but if it is a problem, then you should find solutions for it. How to solve it? That also we are going to discuss. I will be using what is called as Butler English in this session. Butler English. Don't underestimate the power of Butler. So note that it is the butler who learned English first. Okay. Maybe people who have money went to foreign countries even before independence, and probably they might have learned English. But as far as people who lived in India are concerned, it is the butler who learned English. Tellolla దగ్గర first English నేర్చుకున్నవాడు బట్లరే. So first let me tell my story, a small story, not the total story, a small story. When I was in fifth class, I was fat. I was a strong person. So I was asked to become a school people leader. You know what the school people has to do. Major things he has to do is maybe he has to tell attention, stand at ease, and then maybe conduct prayer, etc. Okay, that's what you have to do. But the issue is you have to shout. And after 2 days, my teacher decided I'm not fit for it. So I'm not fit for it. So one fourth class student was made as a school people leader because I was unable to shout. Turn the wheel 20 years. I became a teacher. From the beginning, I started shouting. Okay, even now people have some kind of fear when they have to interact with me. Whether it's good or bad, it's a different issue. Okay, but I became a teacher. I am able to communicate. I go to the class with lot of interest. I enjoy actually teaching. Nowadays also I am enjoying a lot. I am learning new subjects. So things have changed. So nothing will remain the same. In life, if something is inevitable, that is change. In life, if something is inevitable, that is change. So change is inevitable. So who is the best speaker in the world? Swami Vivekananda, who went to USA, Chicago, World Parliament of Religions at the age of 30, spoke there, and he became instantaneously successful or popular man. So you can't imagine the success which he achieved through that speech only. As far as Indians are concerned, we can say that it is the most powerful speech by any Indian because it has influenced so many people, and he stayed there in USA for a few years, telling about the Indian tradition, etc. He's the man who introduced Indians to American people at a broad scale. Maybe few people before him also went there who are successful. Even after Vivekananda also many people went. But the impact which the Vivekananda created is very large, very powerful. Or you may consider Gandhi or Martin Luther King as very good speakers. Maybe you have nowadays you have a lot of motivational speakers, Tony Robbins, Eric Admedes. If it is possible, listen to them. So they are very powerful motivational speakers. Even the Godse, if you consider Godse, listen to what Godse said in the court. So if you listen to what Godse said in the court, you may get convinced with him. You may get convinced with him for performing the crime which he did. Okay, you may get convinced. So that is the power of the speech. That's the power of the speech. In this session, I will consider Steve Jobs, one of the most powerful persons in the recent world. So he's known for his presentations. He's known for his presentations. In fact, there is a book on presentation skills of Steve Jobs, or Steve Jobs presentation skills. I read that book recently. So I will try to follow it. And I will introduce to you I will discuss this session in 3 phases. The first one, the problem. What is the problem? What is the real problem actually? What is the problem? What is the real problem? And then I will introduce to you the villain outside and inside of us. Outside of us and inside of us. What are the external factors? What are the external factors? What are the internal factors? I will introduce you to the villain. And then the solution. Maybe the hero. I will introduce to you the solution. So the problem, the real problem, the villain, and then the solution or hero. First, let me introduce to you the problem. What is the problem? Many times the problem is hidden actually. The real problem is actually hidden. We'll see the problem in a different way. The real problem is deep inside. We generally don't try to address that real problem. How many of you saw the movie Machis? Machis, made by Guljar. Hindi movie, made by Guljar. So in that, the hero who is a terrorist according to law, asks the coordinator of the terrorists, that is Ompuri, why people fight against the system? Why people fight against the system? For what reasons? What Ompuri says is beautiful. So everybody has a fighting instinct. Whenever somebody tries to suppress him or suppresses him, you want to fight. The problem is, when the person who is suppressing you is very powerful, you cannot fight. With him. So what you do is, you try to find some other people, or you try to group people who have different problems, and you start fighting. Now the issue is, because everybody has different problems, so you can't fight based on the individual problems. You try to identify a common problem and you fight for that problem. But the issue is, the real problem is hidden. And what he says is, if you can find the solutions to the individual problems, then there will be nothing like this. So, but unfortunately, the individual problems are not addressed. So you might have seen these people fighting for caste, religion, etc. It's not that people are really interested in caste, religion, etc. So they get some problem. Again, because they can't solve it, they try to group people. Kulam, matam, ivanni kuda, they are deviation politics. మీ ప్రాబ్లంని పక్కన పెట్టేసి వేరే ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ కోసం మీరు ఫైట్ చేయడం మొదలు పెడతారు. మీ ప్రాబ్లం ఎప్పటికీ సాల్వ్ కాదు. Okay, now do you agree with me? What I said, the story of Machis, or what Ompuri said, or what I'm trying to say, do you agree with me? If you agree, please raise your hand. I understand that I cannot see you now. But you can see yourself. You can see yourself. Please raise your hand. If still you are not raising your hand, that is the problem. That is the problem actually. It's not communication skills, that is the problem. Okay. You got habituated to it. You got habituated to it. So whenever you are given an opportunity, whenever you have to express anything, you don't do it. You get several opportunities, but you don't do it. That's the real problem. Next, imagine what happened to you as a child. When you are 6 months old, when you are 1 year, 1.5 years old, what happened to you? Whatever the sounds you make, whatever the noise you make, so they appear to you, to your parents, as very, very beautiful things. They would like to hear you. When you start speaking, maybe at 11 months, they would like to hear you. Now imagine again, fast forward, you are 5 years old. Now what happens? You start asking a lot of questions. What your parents say? Shh, shh. That's the problem. You are being suppressed from talking. Whenever anything is suppressed, it will not really get suppressed. It will take a different route. Things will not be suppressed. It will take a different route. So as a teenager, you start shouting, you become angry, you show it in the school, you show it in the college, you show it in the theaters, etc. Maybe you at least may get the opportunity to express your angriness outside. If you don't do that one, what happens? You start throwing things. You find people, many particularly teenagers, start throwing things. So it is because they are unable to express their angriness. So that's why they started throwing things. So that is the real problem. How many of you teachers, when they come to the class, say attention please rather than silence please? You find everywhere the silence boards. You don't find attention boards. So what is required really is attention, not silence. So particularly in a classroom should be interactive. But if you start asking questions, if you trouble the teacher, he is going to trouble you. Okay, nowadays teachers are something like dictators. Not everybody, but they don't prefer students asking questions. Particularly if you ask a question, if they don't know the answer, then they will shout at you. So actually, teachers should also imagine that we are human beings. We have our own limitations. Certain things we know, certain things we may not know. We'll study further and answer. Saying no to student question should not be taken as an insult. But it is being taken as an insult, and you are not supposed to ask questions in a classroom. So you got habituated to it. That's the problem. So in summary, what are the problems? We got habituated to be silent. Not attentive. We are not exposed to public speaking. We don't have any experience of public speaking. We didn't have opportunity to speak in public, or we are not made use of the opportunities whatever that are provided to us. So we don't have successful experiences. Because we don't have successful experiences, we don't have confidence. Because you don't have confidence, you cannot speak. So the confidence is the major factor. For everything, confidence is the major factor. But you don't have confidence to speak in public. Moreover, we are not supposed to speak in Telugu. communication skills is unfortunately always attached to the English language. English language has nothing to do with the communication skills. Okay, it's also a language. Telugu is also a language. First, you should be in a position to communicate. But unfortunately, always this communication skills is linked to what is called as English language. And people say that you need to know grammar. Fifth point, you need to know the grammar, and you also need to know a lot of words in the English dictionary so that you can speak effectively. Now you don't know probably you don't know the grammar, and you know only the few words in English dictionary, so you cannot speak. And people, by doing all these things, the major problem they create is they created the fear complex. Fear prevents you from using any opportunity, and you cannot communicate. సో ఆయుధాలు మందులు అన్నీ అమ్ముకోవడానికి అందరూ చేసే పనే ఫియర్ని క్రియేట్ చేయడం. ఫస్ట్ థింగ్ దే హ్యావ్ టు డూ ఈస్, ఇట్స్ నాట్ just all about marketing, it's about creating the fear complex. And then when they are successfully create fear complex inside me, they can sell ఆయుధాలు మందులు అట్లాగే అమ్మేది. So everybody knows that there is no perfect cure for cancer. So with all these things, for majority of the cancers, even if they operate, even if you are operated in a USA, for majority of the cancers, your life period will be extended by 5 or 10 years, nothing more than that in majority of the cases. But they created fear, and they are able to sell. You spend huge amount of money. Maybe for certain problems there is no cure. You may have to accept. There are alternatives. Unfortunately, all these things are suppressed. Sound therapy, light therapy, color therapy, Ayurveda, homeopathy, all these are suppressed. You find only allopathy. So allopathy in majority of the cases will not cure. So for diabetes, BP, etc., there is no cure in allopathy. It can only control. They say they can control. We don't know exactly, but nowadays a lot of things are happening. So there are a lot of videos, courses which you can do, and you reverse these diabetes. Even these so-called English doctors are also nowadays agreeing, may not be in India, but in many countries they are agreeing that diabetes can be reversed. We hope it will happen in India also. But what is the truth? Okay, we discussed about the problems. What is the truth? These are the facts based on common sense. First, I will consider the facts based on common sense. Now, how you started speaking? How child starts speaking? Do you learn grammar? Do you learn English? Or in fact, do you learn Telugu before speaking? No. Your mother says, say amma, amma, amma. So maybe after few days you start speaking. You say a few words first. After that, you try to form the sentences. How do you form the sentences? You don't know the grammar, you don't know the language. Please remember. So you start speaking by imitation only. You start speaking by imitation only. How? By imitation in the sense, where are they? That means you are able to remember what you are remembering, where they are stored. They are there in your subconscious part of the mind. They are stored in the subconscious part of the mind. That's why you are able to speak. Child learns speaking, whether it is English, Telugu, or whatever it be, the mother tongue, by imitation only. By imitation only. Even dumb and deaf people speak. Even dumb and deaf people communicate. Not speak. Dumb and deaf people communicate. They are able to communicate successfully. They have their own code language. Okay. Now, how is it possible? Because you are told in your class, in your school, colleges, etc., that if you cannot speak, you are waste. So you are waste. So you have to just look down. Where is your confidence? Your confidence is below your feet. Your confidence is below your feet. That's what people are doing. Majority of the people who speak in English and who are above age, say 50, they never studied in English medium. They never studied in English medium, but they still speak. What is happening? How they are able to speak? They are not learning grammar. They are not learning English. They have listened to many people. All those things are inside your mind. That's why Swami Vivekananda says, education is the manifestation of perfection already in man. Education is the manifestation of perfection already in man. You are already a perfect human being. You are already a perfect human being. So whatever you listen over the years, they are there. They are there in your mind. It's only thing is you have to bring them out. The only way is start speaking, have confidence. That's all. That's the only solution. If you consider Western countries, even in Western countries, there are illiterates. Even in Western countries, there are illiterates. You might have observed people from other states when they settle down. Maybe if you go and settle in Bangalore, or some Kannada people come to this Anantapur, they speak very good Telugu. How is it possible? They don't know the all letters of Telugu language. Okay, they don't know the grammar. So how they are able to do it? వాళ్ళకు ఈనాడు సాక్షి రెండు ఒకటే. ఈనాడు పేపరు సాక్షి పేపర్ రెండు ఒకటే. ఇప్పుడు టోటలీ డిఫరెంట్ ఉంటాయి, బట్ వాళ్ళకంతా ఈనాడు తెలుగు అంతా ఒకటే. ఎట్లా నేర్చుకున్నారు? అది కూడా చిన్నప్పుడు కాదు, అడ్డగాడిదలుగా తయారైన తర్వాతనే. 20 years 30 years ఉన్న వాళ్ళు కూడా 5 years తర్వాత 6 years తర్వాత మంచిగా మాట్లాడతారు. ఎట్లా మాట్లాడతారు? Whatever they are listening, they are going inside you. You have enough intelligence to observe what is going on around you, what people are saying, and then bring it out. You have that talent. Nobody remembers all the words of the English language. Moreover, they keep on changing. ఎవరికి అన్ని వర్డ్స్ ఇంగ్లీష్ డిక్షనరీలో ఉన్నట్టు తెలీదు. ఊరికే మనకు భయపడుతున్నాం అంటే ఆ వర్డ్స్ నేర్చుకోవాలి, ఈ వర్డ్స్ మీకు రావాలి, అది రావాలి, ఇది రావాలని. సింపుల్ వర్డ్స్ ఆర్ ప్రిఫర్డ్ టు కాంప్లెక్స్ వర్డ్స్. మీరు కమ్యూనికేట్ చేయాలంటే సింపుల్ వే యూజ్ చేయాలి. మీ భాష పరిజ్ఞానం చూపించుకోవడానికి, మీ ఇంగ్లీష్ టాలెంట్ చూపించుకోవడానికి ఏవో వర్డ్స్ వాడితే అవతల వాడికి అర్థం కాదు. అర్థం కానప్పుడు కమ్యూనికేషన్ ఈజ్ ఎ ఫెయిల్యూర్. The person doesn't change by sitting or by standing in a perpendicular position. Particularly మీ స్టేజ్ పైన మాట్లాడాలంటే పబ్లిక్ స్పీకింగ్ ఫియర్ వస్తుందని. ఓకే, బట్ ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ పర్పెండిక్యులర్ పొజిషన్లో మీరు నిలబడినప్పుడు మీ బ్లడ్ ఫ్లో అనేది బాగా జరుగుతుంది. మీరు అప్పుడే బాగా చేయగలరు. వీఆర్ నాట్ రియలైజింగ్ ఇట్. ఇంకోటి, ఎవరికైనా ఏదైనా దెబ్బ తగిలి మర్చిపోయాడు అనుకుందాం, గతం మర్చిపోయాడు. మేబీ డాక్టర్ ఏం చెప్తారు, వెయిట్ చేయాలి మన కొన్ని రోజులని. 1 year తర్వాత, 6 months తర్వాత, 2 years తర్వాత వాడు మాట్లాడడం మొదలు పెట్టేటప్పుడు మళ్ళీ ఏమన్నా అక్షరాలు నేర్చుకుంటాడా, గ్రామర్ నేర్చుకుంటాడా? ఏమీ లేదు. అంటే ఇదంతా ఈడ ఉంది. ఓకే, ఆడ లేదని ఎవడో మీకు నేర్పించడానికి ట్రై చేస్తాడు. ఇక్కడ ఉంది. ఇక్కడ ఉండేది బయటికి రావాలి. Facts based on literature. Facts based on what is given by Dale Carnegie. If possible, read the book by Dale Carnegie. They are very, very good books. But this is about the art of public speaking or effective speaking. So you can refer to the books by Dale Carnegie. So these are some of the facts which Dale Carnegie mentions. Public speaking doesn't require any special talent. You don't require any special talent. Any normal person can acquire the skill. Any normal person can acquire the skill. But remember, it is a skill. Any skill you get only by practice. Any skill you get only by practice. If you don't practice, you don't get the skill. How you are able to ride the bicycle, or how you are able to drive the bike, how you are able to swim. So you practice it because it is a skill. The basic fact is communication skills, as the name indicates, also a skill. So the skill you get only by practice. Do practice. You need only common sense. You need only common sense. Use only simple words, right words which are suitable to the audience. So ఎప్పుడైనా ఆడియన్స్ని గుర్తుపెట్టుకొని చెప్పాలి. ఎప్పుడైనా ఆడియన్స్ని గుర్తుపెట్టుకొని ఆడియన్స్ లెవెల్ ఏంటి అనేది చెప్పాలి. ఒక ఐఐటి ప్రొఫెసర్ ఎల్కేజీ స్టూడెంట్కి వచ్చి ఏబిసిడీలు నేర్పిమని చెప్తే అట్టర్ ఫెయిల్యూర్ అవుతాడు. ఓకే, యూ నీడ్ ప్రాక్టీస్. అండ్ ఫియర్ ఈజ్ కామన్. చాలామంది చెప్తారు భయపడకూడదు అని. ఫియర్ ఈజ్ కామన్. ఓకే, ఇఫ్ సంబడి సేస్ ఐ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ ఫియర్, then it's totally false. If they say they don't have fear, if they really don't have fear of public speaking or communicating with others, then they are equivalent to a cucumber, దోసకాయ. సో వెజిటబుల్స్ అన్నిట్లోనూ ఏ రుచి లేనిది, ఉప్పు లేనిది, కారం లేనిది, తీయగా ఉన్నది, ఏమీ లేనిది ఏదంటే దోసకాయ. సో ఆల్ దోస్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ cucumbers. Don't bother about them. Okay, a certain amount of fear is necessary. That's the way you prepare for the unknown environment, for the new environment. Fight or flight, రెండు విధాలుగానే మనిషి బతుకుతాడు. ఫైట్ ఆర్ ఫ్లైట్. పోరాడగలిగితే పోరాడతాడు, లేకపోతే పారిపోతాడు. అనాదిగా జరుగుతున్నది ఇదే, ఫైట్ ఆర్ ఫ్లైట్. ఫియర్ అనేది కొంత అవసరం. అలా అప్పుడే మనము ఆ సిచ్యుయేషన్ ఎదుర్కోగలుగుతాం. ఫియర్ మేక్స్ యూ అటెంటివ్. నోట్ దట్ వెన్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఫియర్, ఏది గుర్తున్నది మీకు అది మాత్రమే వస్తుంటుంది. అంటే మీ అటెన్షన్ అనేది ఇంప్రూవ్ అయింది. సో ఎంత పెద్ద పిస్తాకైనా కూడా కొద్దిగానే ఫియర్ ఉంటుంది, కొద్దిగానే బెరుకు ఉంటుంది. సో మనం ఏదైనా ఫస్ట్ టైం చేసేప్పుడు చాలా ఉంటుంది. మేబీ టీచర్ ఇనిషియల్గా భయపడవచ్చు, దాని తర్వాత కంఫర్టబుల్ అవుతాడు. బట్ ఏదైనా సబ్జెక్ట్ చెప్పాలి, కొత్త టాపిక్స్ చెప్పాలి, కొంత అంబిగ్యూటీ ఉంటుంది, కొంత అన్సర్టైనిటీ ఉంటుంది, కొంత ఫియర్ ఉంటుంది. ఇఫ్ సంబడి సేస్ ఐ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ ఫియర్, దోసకాయ. What are the psychological factors that you have to consider? So psychological factors in the sense that what are those factors which are preventing you from communicating? So majority of the people, majority of your classmates, teachers, etc., you forget after some time. Maybe you forget 90% of the people. Even if you don't forget, you never try to recollect. Now and then you may recollect, but you don't bother about it. Majority of the people who are your classmates, maybe if you are in BTech, who are your classmates, you are not going to be with them throughout your life. ఎవడు బతుకు వాడది. అందరినీ మీరు మర్చిపోతారు. And people are selfish. 99% of the people, 99% of the time they think about themselves, not about you. వాళ్ళు నా గురించి అనుకుంటున్నారు ఏమనుకునేది నీ భ్రమ. మనుషులంతా స్వార్థ జీవులే. సో అవసరమైనప్పుడు ప్రతి ఒక్కడు భగవద్గీత శ్లోకం చెప్తాడు. పార్థాయ ప్రతిబోధిత భగవత నారాయణేన స్వయం. అట్లా ప్రతోడు భగవద్గీత చెప్తాడు. బట్ మనుషులు అందరూ స్వార్థజీవులే. సో సో బీ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్, బీ సెల్ఫిష్, బీ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్. ఓకే. అంత కావాలంటే రామ్ గోపాల్ వర్మ చెప్తున్న అయన్ ర్యాండ్ ఆబ్జెక్టివిజం చదవండి, ఆబ్జెక్టివిజం చదవండి. ఓకే. సో అది టోటల్గా ట్రూ కాకపోవచ్చు, బట్ బేసిక్గా మనుషులు అందరూ స్వార్థజీవులు. ఎవడి కోసం వాడు బతుకుతుంటాడు, మీకోసం మీరు బతకండి, వేరే వాడి కోసం బతకొద్దండి. ఇప్పుడు యుక్రెయిన్ యుద్ధమే ఎగ్జాంపుల్. ఏం జరిగిందనేది దాని గురించి డీటెయిల్స్ ఎందుకని అదే మనకి ఎగ్జాంపుల్. ఆర్ యు దుర్యోధన ఆఫ్ మహాభారత్. సో ఏం చేసినాడు దుర్యోధనుడు? ఎవరో నవ్వినారని చెప్పేసి, అది నవ్వలేదని కూడా చెప్తారు, ఎవరో నవ్వినారని చెప్పేసి యుద్ధం చేసి తమ్ముళ్ళని అందరిని చంపుకొని, వేల లక్షల సైన్యాన్ని చంపుకొని సర్వనాశనం చేసినాడు. ఎందుకు? ఎవరో నవ్వినారని. మీలోను కూడా అలాంటి లక్షణాలు ఉంటే తనను వదిలేయండి. మనం దుర్యోధనులం కాము. ఓకే. ఎవరో నిజంగా నవ్వినా కూడా నవ్వుకుంటే నవ్వుకోండి, మీకు చేతనైతే మీరు మీరు అంతకంటే ఎక్కువ నవ్వండి, బాగా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయండి నవ్వడం. వాళ్ళకి అనిపించినప్పుడంతా కిక్కి కిక్కి నవ్వండి, సరిపోతుంది. అండ్ వై పబ్లిక్ స్పీకింగ్? ఓకే. ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఇవన్నీ చూసినాం, సైకలాజికల్ ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ ఏమేమి వస్తున్నాయని. వై పబ్లిక్ స్పీకింగ్ నిజంగా కావాలా అంటే చాలాసార్లు ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. పబ్లిక్ స్పీకింగ్ ఇంప్రూవ్స్ యువర్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్. పబ్లిక్ స్పీకింగ్ ఇంప్రూవ్స్ యువర్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్. యువర్ పర్సనల్, ప్రొఫెషనల్ అండ్ సోషల్ సక్సెస్ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ యువర్ ఎబిలిటీ టు కమ్యూనికేట్. ఓకే. మనిషి ఒక్కడే జీవించలేడు. మనిషి నలుగురితో కలిసి జీవించాలి. నలుగురితో కలిసి జీవించాలంటే వాళ్ళ కొలీగ్స్తో మాట్లాడగలగాలి, కొలీగ్స్కి కమ్యూనికేట్ చేయగలగాలి, సొసైటీలో ఉన్న జనాలకు కొత్త వాళ్ళకు కూడా కమ్యూనికేట్ చేయగలగాలి. మనకేం కావాలో అట్లీస్ట్ మనం చెప్పగలగాలి. వాడు చేస్తాడా లేదా అది వేరే విషయం. మనకేం కావాలో కరెక్ట్గా చెప్పగలగాలి. ఓకే. if you are not able to communicate, then your personality is hidden. మీలో ఉన్న మంచి కానీ మేబీ చెడు కానీ హైడ్ అయిపోతాయి, జనాలు తెలుసుకోలేరు. యువర్ పర్సనాలిటీ ఈజ్ హిడెన్. ఫ్రమ్ ద జాబ్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు వర్క్ ఇన్ ఎ టీంలో వర్క్ చేయాల్సిందే, వేరే దారి లేదు. సొసైటీలో కూడా మీరు నలుగురితో కలిసి జీవించాల్సిందే. కుటుంబంలో కూడా మీరు కమ్యూనికేట్ చేయగలగాలి. పర్టికులర్గా మీ భార్యతో, మీ హస్బెండ్తో, మీ పిల్లలతో, మీ తల్లిదండ్రులతో మీరు కమ్యూనికేట్ చేయాలి. ఓకే. మళ్ళీ గుర్తుపెట్టుకొని, కమ్యూనికేషన్ అన్నప్పుడు ఇంగ్లీష్ ఒక్కటే కాదు, ఇంగ్లీష్ని బొందో పెట్టండి ఫస్ట్. ఓకే. ఆల్రెడీ ఉంది. మనం చేయాల్సినది కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ బిల్డ్ చేసుకోవడం, సక్సెస్ఫుల్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్సెస్ తెచ్చుకోవడం. ఓకే. మూలకొండ ముసలమ్మ మాదిరి ఏడుస్తూ కూర్చోకూడదు. సో బై స్పీకింగ్ ఇన్ పబ్లిక్ యూ గెట్ స్ట్రెంగ్త్, a feeling of power that you should always have. How do you achieve it? I'm not going to give you a sequence of steps to be followed, but I will discuss with you some of the things which probably you can use. బట్ ప్రతి ఒక్కరిని వాని దారి వాడు ఎత్తుకోవాలి. ఎవడో నీతి శతకం చెప్పాడని చెప్పేసి వాడిని గుడ్డిగా ఫాలో అవుతూ కాదు, మనకే సూటబుల్లో అది చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోతుండాలి. టేక్ హార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఆఫ్ అదర్స్, లైక్ స్వామి వివేకానంద, భగత్ సింగ్. సో we already discussed Swami Vivekananda. At the age of 30, he went to USA, spoke in the Parliament of Religions. Great thing. Bhagat Singh, do you know why Bhagat Singh actually surrendered? Bhagat Singh surrendered because in those days, whatever you say outside, that people, these newspapers never use it to publish. But whenever you say something in the court proceedings are recorded. Whenever you say something in the court, all those will be recorded, and the people use it to publish them in the newspapers. Newspapers, remember, majority of the majority in those days are controlled by British only. So whenever they speak in the court, all those things will be published. So that is the reason why Bhagat Singh surrendered, because he want to speak in the court. He want to create awareness among the youth of India. So he went to the court. He surrendered, and he was submitted in the court, and he spoke all what he spoke along with his friends. They are recorded and they were published. That's the reason they surrendered actually. Develop a passion towards what you want to do. So you want to communicate, develop a passion. మాట్లాడడం ఒక వృత్తిగా తీసేసుకోండి, మాట్లాడాలి. ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ వాట్ జోర్డాన్ పీటర్సన్, you can listen to his videos on YouTube. What he says is, the purpose of education is to make the people speak, to make the people express their opinions in public, not just about the subject. You should express. Of course, to express, you need to have subject. That is one of the major problems. Hidden problem is, we may have the ability to communicate, but లోపల కంటెంట్ లేదు, మనకు సబ్జెక్టే లేదు. సబ్జెక్ట్ లేకుంటే ఏం మాట్లాడతాం? That's the major problem nowadays, with particularly say engineering students. They don't have any subject. సో ఇఫ్ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ సబ్జెక్ట్, లోపల ఏం లేనప్పుడు బయటికి ఏమొస్తుంది? ఏమి రాదు. ఓకే, సో నెవర్ మెమరైజ్ ఎనీథింగ్. Prepare in a proper way. Even a teacher prepares in a proper way, then only he can do justice in the classroom. If he goes to the class without preparation, he cannot deliver. So preparation is essential. Speak from your experiences. That's always the best choice. Speak from your experiences. What happened to you? What are your experiences? So you will have confidence in speaking about your experiences, and people always listen to stories with attention. Stories, చిన్నోడి దగ్గర నుంచి పెద్దోడి వరకు స్టోరీస్ అనేవి అందరికీ నచ్చుతాయి. సో tell story. Tune yourself to the subject. Personalize it. If you have particularly small audience, personalize in the sense that it's better you know the names of the people. And name is the most precious thing for any person. His own name is precious to any person. Okay, demonstrate what you are speaking if possible. Like that is the Steve Jobs way. Steve Jobs always demonstrates his products. So follow the Steve Jobs way. So be a good listener. 80% of your success depends on your listening ability. Be a good translator. So listen to Telugu news, translate to yourself, maybe dynamically. Read variety of things, versatile in reading, variety of things, not just related to your subject or your matter of interest. Learn about your subject, your sports, ethics, the culture in Greece, etc. Read variety of things. Talk to yourself. Watch English movies, a lot of English movies, not the movies where there are animations, etc., but where there are particularly the quote scenes. So watch them. They will have an impact. So see, remember, whatever you see, whatever you hear are going inside your mind. So use every opportunity to speak. That's the thing you have to do. So be confident. Use every opportunity to speak. That's what you have to do. So that's what I want to communicate. Now just you can imagine yourself sitting in an auditorium. Okay, close your eyes, please. You are sitting in an auditorium. Close your eyes. You are little tense. You are little tense because the next person to speak is yourself. So you are little tense. Uh, Maybe the anchor calls your name. Anchor calls your name. You start walking. You start walking. So you get a big round of applause. Imagine now you are in the mood of imagination. You are imagining. You get a big round of applause. Okay. You go onto the stage. You go onto the dais. You raise your hand. Ask people to calm down. Ask people to calm down. And after a few seconds, they calm down, and you can hear the whoosh sound. Okay, you can hear that sound. Now start speaking. As you start speaking, so people started listening to you with utmost attention. Imagine now you are speaking. There is huge audience. There is huge audience. You are speaking. You are speaking and they are listening to you with utmost attention. You complete it. You complete it, and people stand, and you will get a huge round of applause again. People clap. People clap at you. Okay. You complete your speech. You complete your speech. Go to your seat and sit down, and you are feeling powerful now. You are feeling powerful. You are delighted. You are powerful. So try to do it every day, particularly before you go to bed and immediately after wake up. Try to imagine the situation. Imagine a situation, a big auditorium, huge number of people are there, and you go and speak, and they listen, and you do it successfully. Imagine yourself, things will change, and you will become a good public speaker. You will become a good public speaker. So that's what I want to convey. But at the end, you require communication skills. You require communication skills. Your ability to speak in public, that is essential. But at the end of the day, even if you don't have communication skills, you can lead a happy life. You can lead a happy life. So majority of the CEOs, majority of the people who do these inventions, discoveries, etc., they are introverts, not extroverts. Introverts. Okay. So it is not the clap sound which matters. It is what matters is what is there in your heart. How you are feeling. How you are feeling. Be confident. Lead a happy life. Thank you. Shubhamastu. Thank you for listening.